Hey mates, and welcome to Blindformers. I'm your host Blind Prime, and for today we're going to be talking about Transformers Age of the Primes Combatacon Onslaught, the new commander class that many people are receiving in the mail right now, and some people are trying their best to find on the shelves. And to all of you out there looking for one on the shelves to put in your own collection, I wish you the best. I pray that you get there before the scalper does. So today's video is going to be about this guy, and if you're wondering what you found here, hi, I'm Blind Prime. I raise awareness of the blind and the visually impaired through alternative means and methods, and this is including to, but not limited to, Transformers. I also utilize Transformers in assisting the blind and the visually impaired with overcoming the depression that comes with gaining a disability. Like, just about everybody out there gets it. Some are lucky and don't, but most people get depressed. And you need tools, you need help. And my channel is about helping. I'm not going to tell you how to climb yourself out of the pit, because that journey is for you. I can't tell you how to do it because I don't know who you are really. Everybody's different, and everybody heals in their own different ways. I just am showing you something that helped me heal, and maybe it will help you heal. And that's my hope right there. And when it comes to these toys, I absolutely love them, and I think Transformers from Hasbro are very good. The toy company Hasbro has its ups and downs, but for the most part, it does bring us very unique and wonderful little vehicles that transform into robots and stuff like that, and that's cool. All right, they do manage to bring about some things that bring me absolute joy, and these Transformers do bring me joy. And they help me out, and it is my hope that they help you out too. They're more than just toys for some people. They're more than just toys for me. They're aids to assist me in better mental health. So we're going to talk about this figure today. I'm going to go over his vehicle mode from the blind perspective. We're going to talk about it, and I'm going to grade it. And then we're going to discuss the transformation as we do a verbal transformation. And afterwards, we're going to talk about the robot mode, and I'm going to discuss the pros and cons of the robot mode. And all in all, every different stage of this video, there will be a letter grade, and I will give him a final grade at the end of this video. So please stay tuned to the end to get the final grade that a blind person thinks this toy deserves. I don't do 1 through 10 anymore. That was when I started, and I realized I prefer the A, B, C, D, E, and F kind of method. All right, so E stands for effort. Like they gave it some effort, but it totally flopped. That's where the E comes in. Better than a failure, but anyway, today let's get into it without further ado. Please hit the like button, share my videos, subscribe. This is Sugar, the potato cat. She's joining us today, and I'm changing how my camera perceives things. She will constantly be changing the aspect ratio of the camera. Just consider that to be just a moment of blindness for yourself. Like, oh no, it went out of focus. Well, for us blind people, everything is out of focus sometimes. So welcome to the club. That's how I raise awareness, by giving you the ability for a little bit to kind of see how some blind people do see. And that's extremely fuzzy and out of focus things. And Sugar, you're just so adorable. Yes, you are. All right. Now, first and foremost, let me put the cat on the floor. Sugar, you're going on the floor. Ah, Sugar! Go on the floor. There you go. Okay. So first and foremost, we are talking about the Combatacons in their vehicle modes. I'm not going to be transforming them all into robot modes for this video, but we're just going to be solely talking about their vehicle modes and a comparison in this video, and that's where I'd like to begin. So first, for those of you who can't see, this vehicle mode for Onslaught has a long trailer, and the trailer is actually very, very long. It's as long as the longest next to 86 Optimus Prime. I believe Optimus Prime's trailer is a bit longer, but this one matches up pretty good with that. This is definitely longer than Motormaster's, and I'll show that to you in a bit. But first, on the back of this trailer, for an entire half of this trailer, we have Brawl here, and or is it Brawn? I think it's Brawn. Yeah. I'm gonna say it's the tank from it's the tank. So we have the tank guy here, and he is on the back half of the trailer. It fits very well there. On the front half of the trailer, we have this artillery cannon thing. And to get the artillery cannon to actually, work like one, you pull the barrels upwards. They bend on their own hinge, and then they fold over and lock into place. And now you've got a gun that can pick up and stuff like that. But if you don't like the look of that, you can pick it up further, then lock the barrels back down in their original position, and then it's going to rest at an angle on top of its stand. So you get an angled weapon that points upwards, like the original toys was angled. But if you don't like the angled look, like I said, you can pull those barrels up, push the angled bit down, and then you put the barrels back down, they snap into place, and all this becomes one sturdy thing that just kind of spins around and is now more akin to the guns that you see on a battleship instead of in anti-aircraft weaponry. A further little explanation, so that was Braun on the back. He's got enough room. He's pretty spacious back there, but I wanted to show you exactly how much space this guy's got. So over here, I put it, Sugar, get away from the tank. Okay, so I've got the Rhino chest guy, and I'm drawing a blank on his name. Oh no, I keep forgetting names. Here he is on the back of the trailer for Onslaught here, and I think he also fits very well on the back of the trailer for Onslaught. He does fit within the right size. The back of his treads do kind of hang off the trailer a bit, but we can kind of scoot him forwards a bit more. But he does fit. He rests back here. And I think that's kind of neat. So now you have two artillery cannons that are anti-aircraft for the bigger aircraft. And then you have this guy with his machine gun anti-aircraft, because he's an anti-aircraft tank. And I think that's fun. So you can put different vehicles on the back of this thing if you want. We've got Jaruga over here. Where you at, Jaruga? Come here. Jaruga, where'd you go? Jaruga! Alright, here we are. Alright, so we got Jaruga and his little excess stuff. So here's a little fun thing. I don't think we can do it, but we can put those wheels down on either side and just kind of rest them there. So there you go. There's Jaruga sitting on the back of Onslaught. I like the fact that the Decepticons now have a carrier vehicle. It's not much space. You don't expect the Decepticons to have much space to hold the wounded, but it's still some space. And the Combatacons do take care of each other. They may not like each other much, but they know that they're a military squad, so they do take care of their brothers. So I think it's really fun that we get this little pad back here. And this pad is very well textured, by the way. We've got that corrugated steel pattern, or that rough steel pattern that you find on trailers and stuff, and it's got these two little lanes of it that go all the way down. A negative with this is that they didn't put cuts in the plastic, little grooves. Like if they had sunk this lane section down by not even much, just a little bit, like a single millimeter, I think it would have been a lot cooler. We could have had them rest there, because the only problem with how things sit on the back of this trailer, where did I put that tank? Here he is that if the trailer moves too much, he slides all over the place back there. So that's him. Here's the here's Blast Off on the back. He also fits on the back area. Those wings do hold out, but you can fold his wings up. So he fits very well back there. And then here's the helicopter. Blanking on his name today. Just is absolutely the worst. So here we go. We set him down. His little gun actually fits between these two little notches that are right behind the big gun, so that's kind of cool. And he sits there with just a little bit of a tail rotor hanging off the back end. But that's also a nice place for him. And you now have a little bit of a helicopter landing pad for him. And that's really cool that Onslaught's vehicle mode can be utilized to display multiple members of the team. We get Swindle. I'm pretty sure Swindle will fit back here too. The big question is, will his extra weapons fit on this trailer? That's what I want to know personally. But that's the explanation on how those look. Here is here's a showcase on how Motormaster looks compared to this vehicle, because I did want to compare these two guys. Motormaster being our first Commander class combiner, and we're going to put them nose to nose. there's how the difference is in the trailer. Let's go ahead and showcase Onslaught in front and Motormaster behind, and we get that Motormaster's truck mode is a lot shorter than Onslaught's truck mode, but Motormaster's truck mode is a lot taller than Onslaught's truck mode. Motormaster is actually just as tall as this weapon on Onslaught's trailer is. Though Motormaster's trailer is a bit taller. And Onslaught's trailer is a lot longer. Motormaster's trailer goes to just behind, these two kind of circular bits that stick up on the back of the trailer for Onslaught, and Motormaster's trailer goes just to the part of those that face the vehicle, not the parts that face the back of the trailer. So there's that comparison, and it's very tall. Weight-wise, both of these guys weigh about the same. I would say that Onslaught may actually weigh a bit more than Motormaster. And that's because Motormaster's vehicle mode is made out of some different plastics because they did so much paneling with him. I do like Motormaster really well. And who did I just knock off of his stand? Oh, Hellbat, I'm sorry. I just knocked you over. You know what? Just for funsies, here's Hellbat. And Hellbat lands on the back of the... there we go. All right. We also have the snake dude over here somewhere, don't we? Yeah, here he is. So this is the helicopter for Leo Kaiser, and he lands on the back area, and that's how it looks there, though you can turn it around, actually make it look a little better, I think, by putting the tail over the guns. And there you have it. So that's just kind of a little comparison on the sizes. Let's go ahead and discuss the vehicle mode now. So when we got him combined with everything, it does feel like it's just one giant vehicle. So they did something weird here, in my opinion. They could have had the foot pads actually end up on the sides in this negative zone that seems like it's a big old gap. It could have had something there. And the back of the truck mode here is actually supposed to be that part of a trailer that goes over the rear of a semi-truck and locks in place. That's what this is supposed to symbolize, I believe, because there's some lineage under there that kind of makes it feel like there is supposed to be one of those points, a little hook that pops in place and locks in place, like what we have with Motormaster here. Let me pull Motormaster off his trailer. There we go. So Motormaster here has one of those little circles, and that little connection port that the 86 Prime has, that the TF4 Prime has, and actually TF4 Megatron has one, and Huffer has one, and Pipes has one, and Earthrise Optimus Prime has one, and just about every G2 Optimus Prime has one. Every semi-truck we've gotten just about has had one of these dots, one of these peg holes for siege ports, so we could plug trailers into it, and also occasionally just plug a weapon if we wanted to be funny. I think that was cool. Instead of doing that, they turned the feet for I just drawed a blank on his name. Onslaught. Before Onslaught, they could have had that trailer come out, but to put his feet up here meant that this trailer couldn't stretch all the way. So you get the back of Onslaught's trailer just ahead of these feet pads, the truck. You can feel the back of the truck going down. There's the idea of pipes right there for the steam pipes or vent pipes, exhaust pipes, that's the word. And then over here you get the part of the trailer that connects into it. And then underneath that, you've got some lineage to symbolize that this is a semi-truck that has backed into a trailer and the trailer came down. But the connection port is actually back here, and you pull off a chunk of the back of the semi to remove the trailer. And, you pull off a chunk of the piece of trailer. Now, this is all just according to feel. Like, it may be painted different and look different, but that's the idea I'm getting from it. So when he's actually in truck mode here, he has still a small piece of the trailer still connected to a chunk of his back bed for truck mode. And that's where I'm like, these feet could have gone down and folded in on the sides and probably looked better. And then we could have gotten a port up there so we could have connected Motormaster's trailer to Onslaught, and that was something I was looking forward to as a Transformers collector. But now, we'll talk about the vehicle real quick, and then I'm going to get into its transformation because I kind of blathered on a little bit much. So the vehicle here is actually really cool in the sculpt work. We've got these military-style headlights that are bulbous and stick out, but have like some sort of metal grating over them to add them extra support. For his grill for the truck mode, it's not really that big. We get some grill aspects. I think it would have been better if we'd gotten more vent action going on in this grill, but it's okay. We also have some vertical vents going on either side. Well, no, they're horizontal vents, but they're stacked vertically. It's weird. And that's the nose area. We also get this bumper that stretches across the entire front. We get these decent wheels. They have all right sculpting on the bottom of the wheel. There's nothing really sculpted on the side of the wheel, sadly. And then we've got I think that's actually, yeah, that's not pinned in. I don't know I forget what that's called, but I don't like that, like, flathead screwdriver looking thing. I was really hoping we'd get some hubcaps with this guy instead of what we got there. On the back wheels, he has, is it the same thing, or nope, these back wheels are actually pinned in with metal pins, and they get the hubcaps and make it look nice. So that's cool. Like, we get the back wheels look nice. They look really nice. The front wheels don't. They have that hideous horizontal slash through it, like you could put a flathead screwdriver in and spin it around, which I don't advise doing because you'll break everything. The hood is decent. It just feels a bit wider than it should. Like, that's some aspect about him. I don't know if he's actually wider than where'd I put him? Here he is. Let's see if he's wider than Motormaster. No, he is actually, he's just slightly. He's slightly wider than Motormaster, but not by much. So that's not the thing there. It just the scaling for this vehicle does feel kind of off. And then we get the rear view mirrors. At least he gets rear view mirrors, and they're weirdly shaped. They're kind of rounded. I think it's to symbolize an older style truck, but those are the rear view mirrors. We get two of them. We get a cab door etched in there with window, which is really nice, and there's actually a shade over the front windshields, which is really cool. Like, this guy feels like a military transport truck, but just the rear of it feels off to me. Now, I'm going to give this thing a grade of, your truck and trailer included gets a grade of A. I think that's a great inclusion, but if you take the trailer off, truck mode by itself is going to end up getting a B. Or even as low as a C. I don't like it. It feels wrong. I wish I could display it without the trailer and have the trailer displayed looking all cool, or even attach the trailer to 86 Prime or even Motormaster, but that's just not in the cards for this, and then that is a shame. That is a shame. Now let's get into the transformation today, and the transformation for this guy isn't that complicated. It's pretty intuitive. So I like to start off with the rear of the transformation and pull up the rear wheels on either side to make them seem like, both the wheel caps are now facing the ceiling. And then we can take these feet pads that I talk about, and we're going to pull each of them up. There they go. And then we're going to pull the entire leg assembly down and out. And it's going to lock into place. There it goes. We lock the knees into place. We can go ahead and collapse both of those wheel sections back down. Go ahead and fold the feet pads down into the proper area. Then use your fingernail to feel at the tip of the toes, which all the Commander combiners have the same feet. You can pull those tip of the toes out, and they lay out as heels, just like with every other Commander from the combiners. Now, we come up here to the front area, and this is where we have a bit of a unique part of the transformation, because all this is really well done in there. Like, it's sturdy, it's strong. So you're going to have a hard time actually getting this part to separate a bit. So you just want to be careful with it. You want to pull down and out with them. And they may not disconnect. One of them is going to have to disconnect, and that's going to be the hardest, but there it goes. We pulled one. So what I did is I pulled it up and out because there are two pegs on this arm. One peg on the top that holds it into the nose of it holds it onto the hood of the truck. The other connection is a peg that sticks out on the side little shelf area in front of the wheel, and that's part of the front bumper, and that connects sideways into the front bumper of the nose area. So you have to pull out and down to get these guys disconnected, and sometimes it's a little tough. There it goes. I say if you have trouble with it, give it a little twist at the wheel, twist it outwards, kind of like the axle broke on the truck and now it sank down, so do that. And you should have an easier time getting those arm sections separated from the nose of the vehicle mode. Next step is we are going to come in here and we're going to pull this head forwards on its own little joint. So the head's going to come forwards and look straight down, and then this back area is no longer connected and it can actually fold out entirely. Now we are going to fold it out so that it's laying all the way out until it can't fold out anymore. You'll find the Bruticus head just kind of chilling in there, and then we can fold that section forwards a little bit. So fold the nose section of the vehicle forwards by 45 degrees, and this area below it should pop out, the windshield spot, and you want to grab that little area that popped out and pull it out all the way. Now this section is very loose and we can fold it down, but before we can fold it down, we got to come in here inside the nose and you'll find two barrels sticking downwards, and you want to pull each of those barrels out 180 degrees on each side, and those are inside of the front of the truck underneath the hood. So you can pull each of those guys out and they will stick up on above, and they will help with the silhouette of Onslaught. Now we push the Bruticus head back inside of the body, and we pull the gun barrels with the nose of the vehicle, the hood of the vehicle, down until the bumper rests on top of this backpack area. And after that, we're going to come around here to the back, and we're going to push down this area that has the windshields, and that little section is going to sort of snap into place. And there it goes. It snapped into place, and now his backpack is very sturdy, and that is nice. Now come around here to his arms, rotate, pull them down all the way, and then we're going to rotate them. So we're going to pull them down all the way. There it goes, and rotate it 180 degrees. So we're pulling it out until this section that has the peg, the big rectangular peg on it, is flat. There it goes. So it's going to become the shoulders, but the shoulders, of course, are pulled out away from the body. So you just got to kind of pull that second joint out. And once you do, this rectangular peg will be facing down towards the floor, and you want to rotate it up towards the ceiling. Then you want to go ahead and just rotate each of these hands out, these arms. And interestingly enough, the wheels go on the inside for Onslaught. Just a little FYI, little fun little fact. And now we're going to pull each of the fists up. They don't require much effort. Just find the fingers, go towards the wheel, and pull them out towards the top of the arm. We're going to do the same with this side. And come on, there it goes. Okay, we're going to find this section. Where'd it go? Rotate that around so the wheel is on the inside, and there's that fist, and it pulls forwards. There we go. Fist, good. Heels are pulled out. Let's go ahead and separate the legs from each other. Let's now then push down the head, and it's going to fall right back into its proper location. And that is Onslaught transformed into robot mode. His transformation, I believe, is it's not as complex as Onslaught's, as Motormaster's transformation was. But neither is it as simple as Silverbolt's transformation. And this is a nice medium ground for transformations when it comes to these Commander class Transformers that become parts of a combiner. I still think that Hook's transformation was really cool in that Commander bundle. We had Hook and Long Haul's transformation was kind of stupid simple, but Hook's was a little bit more complicated and a bit more interesting in my opinion. Hook still kind of wins it for combiner transformations on something that I think is a lot of fun, but this guy's definitely a runner-up in that. I label him as number 3. Of course, Motormaster is my number 2 in these transformations. Motormaster is just so much fun. And then Long Haul's transformations at the very bottom, because that's Long Haul. One day we're just going to have to do a fun video where I rank these guys. Anyway, talking about that transformation, I'm going to give it an A-. It's going to get an A-. I believe it's decent. It's intuitive. You can figure it out pretty well, but it doesn't make me sweat. It isn't the challenge that I like with Transformers. And maybe I'll have to move to MP scale or something if it's ever in the budget. But so let's go over him real quick. and discuss him. So gappage in the bottom of the feet when the heels are folded out, that's normal. I do wish we had gotten some 5mm ports down there so we could plug in some boots and stuff like that, have some fun with him. And then we come up here to the top of his foot does seem like have a little gun barrel sticking out where the big toe is. But it's actually, I think, a light for the vehicle mode. And the lower leg, it's got some lineage etched into it. We've got a decent little kneecap. The wheels are on the sides of the leg like in Earthrise Prime. The leg does bend a little more, actually a lot more than 90 degrees. It's a very, very articulated knee joint there. It's sad we don't get 2 knee joints, but we do get one, and that's pretty good. The side isn't ratcheted, but the forward and back is ratcheted. We just want the side one to be ratcheted. Oh well. He has a full rotation in his waist. He also has a thigh rotation, and of course he's got his typical boot tilt that foot tilt that we've come to love. 360 in the elbow, 90 degree on the shoulder, 90 degree in the 360 on the shoulder, 90 degree on the shoulder. An elbow pulls a 90 as well. Hand doesn't move at all. I know, sad but true. The head is on a ball joint so we can look up and down a bit, and of course you can get maximum looking down, or as a perspective would call it. So that's pretty fun too. This guy is a decent robot. His backpack is very clean, very nice. I like the little barrels that pop up. The textures on his chest are very minimalistic. I was hoping for a bit more on the texture department going on this chest, but I'll take it. It's not bad, but also I was hoping for a bit more. It feels a bit more cartoonish. The line work there's some, but nowhere near as amazing as the stuff that we got with texture-wise, that we got with Motor Master here. I'm showing you his vehicle mode again, but good grief, the textures from Motor Master were just obscenely amazing. They're just amazing. I love it. I love how well sculpted Motor Master is. They sculpted so much on that. And this guy's a bit minimal on the sculpt work. We get some sculpting, but I wish there was a bit more. For the robot mode, I'm going to have to give this guy a grade of A- again. So we get an A- vehicle mode, an A- robot mode, and an A- transformation. So without doubt, this guy is an A- overall as a score. He's not a bad transformer, I believe. I think that he is excellent. He weighs pretty good. He's got wonderful plastics being utilized in him. His vehicle mode isn't that bad. It's got some flaws to it because, and that's on me, and that's my opinions on the matter because, I can't see the pictures, so I don't know what to expect. And just as a final little showcase, I do have a robot we can compare him to, and it's G1 motor. It's G1 Onslaught. Look at him. Look at how tiny he is. He actually stands up to just below these 2 little pectoral areas for Onslaught here. Like Onslaught's chest has kind of an ab area, and then you got these 2 pec muscle things, and he stands just below just at the part where they connect to the abs. He's so tiny. He's so little tiny. Anyway, I hope all of you have enjoyed today's video, and I've helped you out when it comes to your Onslaught. Next time on the channel, when we cover Onslaught again, we will have Swindle in hand and actually be able to we'll talk about the transformation or the conversion from all the vehicle modes into the final product, and that being Bruticus. So I will talk about this guy's transformation into his core block mode when we discuss Bruticus as a whole later this fall. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. I've been Blind Prime, and that's been Sugar the Cat. Until next Prime, bye-bye now.